Hello, brothers and sisters of the church. Happy 2025. Oh, the new year has already really started off on a good note here. We've had a baptism here on New Year's Eve, about 2 hours before midnight. And that was a wonderful opportunity of baptizing 6 individuals. One, a young man who I've had the opportunity of street witnessing with quite a bit. He's very reserved and quiet oftentimes in the church, but whenever I get Nicholas out on the streets or in communities and sharing the word of the Lord, he really has a lot of zeal and passion for telling others about Jesus. But Nicholas had never been baptized, and we did that just the other night. And it's also almost completion of a circle there, because Nicholas's parents were about his same age when I first came to this community in 1995. So it's really awesome to see that path, that trail of a family all walking with the Lord. Well, I had a few verses that I wanted to share with you today out of Lamentations chapter 3, and starting in verse 22. So Lamentations 3, verse 22. The Lord's loving kindness indeed never cease, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore I have hope in him. The Lord is good to those who wait for him, to the person who seeks him. Now, if you're like me, as I read through these, you may have heard a few hymns or praise songs start ringing through your head. It's always a joyful time, and also a little like, well, now I've got to stop and let this song go through my head. You know, we have a renewal every morning, but we always kind of wait for the turn of the calendar and the change of the year to say, now I can begin anew. And I know we all have that hope. We have that hope that 2025 will be better than the previous years, really better than the previous 4 years. I think we've still been living in the shadow of the great plague which hit us in 2020. And even for myself, I have to confess, I keep looking at 2025 as being everything that I really hoped that 2020 would be. And I think I see a lot of positive attitude in people, both in the U.S. and here. But there's something we need to do. We need to be ever more in the scriptures. We need to be ever more in prayer. The church here has a really neat tradition of they were all in an attitude of prayer. It was probably 60 people, everybody on their knees praying as the clock struck midnight, as we entered into the new year. And that was something I'd never experienced. I had never been here for a new year, and to have an entire church gathered together and praying the new year in was a real blessing. We need to be ever more in prayer. We know that Timothy speaks of in the latter days there will be the doctrines of demons being taught. We see a great wandering away, drifting away from the truth of Scripture. The only way you're going to be able to filter out, though, what truth is if you're in prayer and if you're in the Word of the Lord and if you're walking with Christ. I know probably the majority of people watching this video are believers, but we still need that encouragement to go deeper, to spend more time with Him. I think of Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your paths straight. He's going to give us the desires of our heart as we follow Him. And I have really seen the Lord provide and guide me along my life's path. And I hope that you will experience Him doing the same for you and for your family. Let this be a year of surrender, surrendering to the will of the Lord. I had another missionary just asking me last night what I saw the church in America, and if I saw that people were surrendered, if they were following the Lord completely. And I see that not in the same way, though, that I did in times past. And I just want to encourage each of you to let the light of Christ shine evermore, because the darkness of this world is ever increasing. And so many of you who I know have tremendous hearts for the Lord and really are just great saints of the church. We need you evermore out there letting His light shine ever brighter. Well, brothers and sisters, I do hope and pray that your day is going well, that your year is off to a good start. Until next time, God bless.